Angela, good morning, everybody. So Angela, will Jerry be here? No?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much.
Hi.
So we'll be waiting for another couple of minutes, waiting for more people to join. So if you already joined, thank you for coming.
Hey, Aaron. Do you need a note taker for today's meeting?
Yeah, if you're available, preferably, could you do it?
Sure. I was just like thinking if Richard joined, I was thinking of him taking notes. If that's possible.
Yeah, I saw Kitty is here, so maybe you want to ask Kitty? Kitty did a presentation for us 2 weeks ago. The brain machine lecture, do you remember, Arthur?
Yeah.
So we will be waiting for 1 more minute and we'll start that.
I guess I'll take notes for today's meeting then.
Yeah, that's okay. So I guess we could start right now. So before we start the interview, I would like to remind everyone that for the youth group, we have a Discord server for all the members. So if you haven't joined already, I'll put the link down in the chat. So I guess we'll begin the actual interview part. So I will be the first interviewer. My name is Aaron Du.
And I will be the second interviewer, and my name is Angela Yank.
So today we are here with Jennifer Yu. Jennifer, would you like to tell us more about yourself?
My name is Jennifer, and I'm a chess player. So right now I'm the current U.S. Women's Chess Champion, and I'm going to be attending Harvard.
Okay. Since Jennifer is a world-class chess player, which is not a title that many people typically hold for when we do interviews, so we would put chess-specific questions in the beginning. So I know there are a lot of elementary school students in here. So if you're just here for the, you want to be here for the chess-specific questions, we would hold that first, and we would hold a short Q&A afterwards. So then you could leave. And then after that, we would do the high school and college application questions.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I just did some research on you and briefly on the. I checked that you SCF rating, but and I noticed that you already turned to be a national master at 2014, right?
I don't really remember the exact.
Okay. I mean that's pretty like amazing. That means when you sounds like pretty young. I mean it should be like in the middle school.
Yeah, I think it's 12. So.
Wow. So and that's just after you like play chess for like maybe 5 or 6 years, and then you got that.
Yeah. So yeah, because I didn't play that much chess before I was like 9 or 10, and then I started playing a lot more after that. So and then once I started playing more, my rating started going up.
Yeah, I think that's for your success is lots of like chess kids is a dream. Like, I mean, I have a one also loves chess. It's Patrick also here today. I don't know if he's willing to ask you because he's kind of pretty like play chess. So I have some questions as a parent. So based on your success, so how often like for your like you attend the tournaments, how often, like how many practice every day is daily, and yeah.
So it always varies. That's for sure, because it's not the same throughout the year, and it also depends on like how old I was. Because like for example, usually in the summer, a lot of people play way more tournaments because you can almost play like a tournament every other week, like a big tournament in the summer because there's a lot more events, and you also have more time to practice because like during the school year, there's school and there's other things. So and so the amount of time I've spent on chess also depends. Like in high school, depending on the year, like maybe my freshman and sophomore year and more time on chess. My junior year, I had a lot of hard classes, so I didn't spend as much time practicing. And coincidentally, that year I also had a few really big tournaments, so I missed a lot of school for that. So I was spending a lot of time making up school, and so I didn't have as much time to practice. But it's usually good to aim for like, I don't know, at least like an hour a day, something like that, to practice.
还在拉稀，正好还在拉了。
对。
所以说今天
So, what do you think that is like your practice is most of the time is just by yourself, right?
Yes. Yeah, because most of the things you need to practice in chess is just independent, like calculation, whatever. It depends on the person too. But like, it's good to like play a lot of games online, which I've never been that good at because I just forget to do that. But yeah, I usually spend most of my time practicing myself. And when you're starting out, it's important to have like a coach and something to help guide. But yeah, because that really helps improve, to increase the process of improvement.
Would you like to just give some like advice to those like elementary kids, because we have a lot of elementary kids in our community, just like Chinese kids. They started to play chess, and it's on the way to love chess. Yeah, would like to just give some advice to them.
Well, I think the most important thing for kids to work on in chess to improve is tactics, which are like puzzles. Like I did a lot of those when I was starting out, and it's really one of the most important things because it's just pattern recognition. And then once you start doing it, you just get better and better and better, and it helps improve like your calculation and whatever. And also for kids who are just starting out, I think it's really important to not get caught up too much by results. Like when I first played, for like the first few years I played, I had no results, basically no results at all, but I just kept playing. And then once I started playing more, I started getting my results. And so I think being too result oriented isn't good, especially for kids who are just starting.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Okay, so I think we're going to start with the chess specific questions now. So the first question is, how did you discover your interest in chess?
My parents signed me up for chess club back in elementary school, and then after that they signed me up for like a kind of like a outside of school chess program, and I just went on from there. So yeah, it just started from elementary school chess club.
Okay, so how long have you been playing chess, and at what point did you feel like you were destined to succeed?
So I played my first tournament when I was 7, so around 11 years now. And at one point I thought I was destined to succeed. So I didn't really plan on making chess one of my main like extracurricular activities. But like I would say around the time I was 9, I started playing a lot more tournaments because I used to live in California, and then I moved here to Virginia, and I started playing a lot more tournaments here. And I qualified for like the World Youth Tournament that year. And then after that, I started playing chess a lot more, taking it more seriously.
Third question is, why did you choose to play chess as compared to other extracurriculars or hobbies?
Well, this is kind of like a cliche answer, but it was also the thing that I was the best at. So it makes the most sense to focus my time on this. So it was just kind of prioritizing this over some of the other things I did.
So what factors do you feel like attributed to your success in chess?
I think that's hard to say. Like to some degree, I would say that if you're good at something, that there is some kind of like natural talent or something at that. But I also think like a lot of my a lot of the reason why I like kept on continuing at chess and stuff is also because of like the community around it. Like I've made a ton of friends through chess and stuff. So sometimes we just like discuss like certain variations, certain openings you want to try. So a lot of times I can like I have to attribute like my success to like my friends and stuff because they've helped me, and I've learned a lot from them. So I guess that's not like the most conventional answer, but I would say that's very important.
What kind of opportunities did chess give you?
Well, so I've gone to a lot of places for tournaments, like around the world, which is really cool. And I think those experiences have taught me a lot of stuff, but also just like it looks good on the college application, of course. So that would definitely be an opportunity. But like I wouldn't like I've played chess in like South Africa and like Slovenia. Like I would have never gone to those places if I wasn't at playing chess. But yeah.
So how do you exactly deal with competition stress, either before or during?
I think it's definitely not important to not focus on results too much, because that puts a lot of pressure on yourself. But so like before a tournament, I used to get really stressed out before tournaments, but I guess I would distract myself just like around like a day before a tournament or something. It's recommended that you don't do too much chess. So like you want to get warmed up, like but you don't want to spend too much time just looking at chess. You want to just like take a break and just hang out for a bit. And like during tournaments, it's good like in between rounds to talk to friends or just like don't do chess like the entire time because it's really easy to just psych yourself out.
Okay. What was your most memorable competition experience?
I would say probably the US Championships last year, because right before that tournament, I played another tournament where I did terrible in, and then I played the US Championships like literally 1 or 2 days after, and I won it, which was kind of, I don't even know, it was kind of crazy, but I guess that's also related to how you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself or expect too much. Just try to play your best and things like that.
Okay. What are a few things that you would like others who do not play chess to know about being a world-class chess player?
Well, I think, so there's a lot of, because like I always get the question on how you practice chess, because chess is very, very big. And so there's a lot of different categories that chess can be split into, like there's strategy, there's like calculation, like prophylaxis, positional play. There's a bunch of different categories. So like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people just don't really understand that chess is a lot of practice and work, but I don't really know how to answer this question. Yeah.
Hi, Jennifer. Aaron, I have a question for Jennifer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Jennifer. When you were in California, I still remember when you were so young, you begin to actually navigating between a lot of extracurricular like piano and the other stuff, painting. Do you remember there's a moment you think, wow, chess, this is the stuff I want to concentrate, and this is the thing I want to pick up and stay with it? Is there a particular moment?
Actually, I want to ask similar question. So Jennifer, you already got admitted by Harvard, and it's been a long journey for you to start it as a young chess player, then come to this stage. Do you mind to give us like a brief review? You must have a lot of things to share for this long journey.
Wait, Mom, just let her answer one question before you ask another one. So
Okay.
Okay. So for me, I've always wanted to do everything. So it's been a challenge to try to balance things. Like I can tell you, like in middle school, I did a few sports on the side. But I think when I went into high school, I realized it's just impossible. You have to, because my freshman year, I did cross country, debate, and I still play piano. I think I also did band. And then after that year, I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore because it was just taking up too much time. So my sophomore year, I really cut down. Like I didn't do as many extracurricular activities. I was still doing a few, but it wasn't ones that took up too much time. So after that, I would definitely say my 10th grade, I realized that I have to focus more on chess. And this is my main thing that I'm going to pursue. Like before, it was still my main priority, but I just put too many things on the side. So I don't know if that answers the question, but.
Jennifer, I forgot to congratulate you. Be admitted to Harvard. That's another achievement for you and your parents. I forgot.
Thank you. And so the other question was my chess journey. Was it?
Holly, what's your question?
No, because I had the other question, but I don't remember. Was it just asking about my chess journey?
I think maybe Holly asked. I didn't remember.
What question did you ask again?
I just I'm interested in Jennifer's own personal like review about this, like starting from young chess player, then come to this stage. We will have like a couple of chess classes going on, but they are all for young kids. So I'm very interested in how Jennifer grew up from a young chess player into come to this stage. So it must be a fascinating story. I hope Jennifer can share some experience.
Yeah, I can. So I played my first tournament when I was 7 in California, and then I didn't do that much with chess back then. Maybe just like one group lesson, like once a week, kind of like that. Until I moved to Virginia when I was 9, and after this, my coach in California, he told my parents to take me to more tournaments and just let me play chess more. And so they brought me to more tournaments here. And in 1 year, my rating kind of just, I don't know if you know the rating thing, but I went from 1,500 to 1,900 in a year. And then after that, so that's how I qualified for the World Youth Tournament. I played that, and then I played that tournament the next year too. So after that, I started improving more, spending a lot more time on chess. And then, so when I was 12, I won that tournament. So it was like the World Youth Chess Championships for girls under 12. So I won that. And that was the year I actually kind of took a gap year that year because I was in 8th grade, but I was a year younger than my grade because I went to school early. So I took a few classes on the side, but the rest of the time I could stay at home and do like other stuff like chess. I didn't do as much chess as I wanted to, but that was the idea behind it. And then, but I just kept on improving throughout the years, I guess, just from playing more. And I had a few coaches on the time at the time. Once I got into high school, I didn't have as much time to spend on chess, but I don't think that really affected it that much because it's really not how much time you spend on it, but how efficient you are with the time. And that's still something I'm working with. But yeah, after I got into high school, I actually stopped working with a coach for around I don't know, it's been a few years now, almost 3 years. But I did really well in these really big tournaments, which kind of just motivated me to keep continuing, keep playing. Because for chess, it's not like, I would say that it wasn't like always so smooth for me, because there were definitely times I didn't want to do chess. Like I remember in middle school, I was struggling a lot with it. I still struggle with practicing because it's just not something I like to do, but it's something I have to do. But I like playing it, but it's hard to push yourself to always practice. I mean, I'm sure that's for a lot of things, but yeah, in middle school, I remember that I didn't want to continue for a long time, but I just kept doing it, and then I'm really glad that I stuck with it. But yeah, so I guess that's kind of my chess journey up to this point.
Jennifer, if I ask you to recommend a book about chess, what would jump in your mind to the kids to read about?
So like beginner level?
Yeah, I mean that even for higher. I mean that just to tell us what's just jump in your head, in your mind.
Yes.
Most.
There's a lot of puzzle books. So like there's like I think there's like a classic like How to Beat Your Dad at Chess.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that one, because I had that one when I was younger, because it's just very basic patterns that you have to know. How to Beat Your Dad at Chess. Maybe I think it's called Silman's Endgame Manual or something. Silman's something. It's Silman's Endgames. And then maybe I did a lot of Susan Polgar. I don't remember the exact name, but it's Susan Polgar's puzzle book. And I did that when I was like around 8 or something. And yeah, that was one of the books I probably spent the most time on.
So if about a book not about a chess, what would like influence you most? What do you would just to jump in your mouth?
A book not about chess.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I read Harry Potter a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. I liked Holes, but yeah. But okay, so like I don't really know.
So she's your favorite author, or any other one?
Oh, my favorite author. Well, it changed throughout the years. Like I used to read a lot of books, like novels. I stopped reading as much once I got into high school, but I used to read like I used to bring books to school and read them under the table. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes you like more closer to the like the normal kids, because some of those books are all the kids likes, and you recommend about the chess books. We have both. I think that my son is gonna be happy with that. Thank you.
Yeah. So like, I guess one thing I should have mentioned about like how a lot of people don't know about like a lot of good chess players is that they're like, a lot of my friends I know who are like the top in the country for whatever age group or whatever, they're just normal kids. Like they go to school too. I know people who got into like some of the top schools like Stanford and MIT. I don't know a single one of them who don't struggle with like procrastination and that kind of stuff. Like that's always like, I think that's kind of a misconception. Like, oh, this person got this accomplishment, or this person got into this school, so that means they probably have amazing time management. It's not always the case. Like I struggle with it a lot. I don't know a single one of them who don't. So it's just something that you're always going to try to manage, but I think you can manage better if you have like a schedule or something to try to control yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, great. That's where you're swimming. I think that's pretty important, especially in the high school years, like for the time management.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So this question kind of ties back to how you practice, but like when you learn new things about chess, is it typically from a coach or YouTube videos or from a book? I just want to know.
When I learn new things, I've never learned chess through videos really. So for me, I guess I would say it's mostly through books, but I think it's probably the most important is playing games and then analyzing your games. because then you can learn where you made a mistake, and then how you can fix it or improve it, so next time you get in a game you won't see as much, and also you can identify your own weaknesses. So I mean, a coach helps you with that a lot of the time. Yeah, that's actually a really important thing about the coaches. They can help you identify your weaknesses. But yeah, I guess learning from chess is probably just looking through your own games.
Okay. So was there anyone who you kind of looked up to when you first started playing chess? This does not have to be like a chess player.
Yeah, so the people I looked up to weren't actually like there's always like the examples of like the top female chess players that a lot of people give, like Judith Polgar, Ho Yifan, who are like some of the best women chess players ever. But like a lot of people I looked up to were just people I knew who were like my friends, or who were people that I was friends with who were slightly older than me, and I just like admired how like they like it's how they handled school or how they handled like certain situations, because I think you can learn a lot from the people who are your own age or slightly older than you. Like they don't have to be like the best at it, but just because of their own experiences. And like I asked for advice on school and chess with a lot of my chess friends. Like they helped me with my college applications, with like my classwork, like everything. Like, so I think it's really important that even though chess is kind of an independent activity, that you're still like going out of your way to make connections and make friends, because yeah, they're really important.
Okay, so the next question would be, who is one person that has supported you throughout your chess career?
Probably my parents the most. I mean, they pay for everything, they give me everything. Like, if I probably wouldn't still be playing chess if they hadn't pushed me, because like right now, like I push myself, but when I was younger, it's you get lazy, you just don't want to do this anymore. You just like, oh, it's so much easier if I just didn't do this. And then, but they just kept pushing me, and then at some point I just started, it's like, oh, I want to get better, I want to improve, and you start pushing yourself. So yeah, like parents, don't push your kids too hard, because I know a lot of cases where kids start getting, or it's not the prettiest case, where kids like end up hating something because their parents push them too hard. But it's important to like make your kid just continue. I guess I would say that.
So that concludes our test section of the interview. So would anyone like to ask any questions about Jennifer that we may not have covered? Feel free to speak up if you want to, or type your question in the chat.
So Jennifer, yeah, so first congratulations that you're going to go to the Harvard. And so do you have any plan for your chess when you definitely study your freshman year over there?
I'm actually in the middle of considering whether I should take a gap year or not. So I have a few more days to decide, but because before I wasn't planning to, but because of the whole coronavirus thing, going on campus may not be the best idea right now, and remote learning also isn't the most ideal. So I'm thinking maybe I should take a gap year so I have more time to work on chess and other things, and when tournaments start coming back. So I'm still deciding.
But the things that even for chess tournaments, those things that now just because of like the social distance issue, so most of things now you just play online. So even I think it's not easy to handle that, right?
Yeah. So most of them had shut down, but I think some are coming back, and I'm hoping by next spring that the situation will get better. And also in the spring, there's a lot of really big tournaments in Europe that I've always wanted to play in, but I can't because of school. So I'm hoping that if it works out, I can play in those.
By the way, what's your major in Harvard? Do you decide it or not?
I was going to go in undeclared because I used to be interested in becoming a doctor, so it would have been kind of like pre-med. But then recently I got more interested in like economics and finance and business, that kind of thing. So I was just gonna take a few classes because for Harvard, you declare it in your sophomore year. So you have around like a year and a half to decide. So it's really flexible.
Interesting things to me. That's if you wanted to, do you just have anything like for the coronavirus issue will change you something on your mind, on your decision on like as a doctor?
No, it wasn't that. Like because basically my whole life I wanted to be a doctor, but recently I realized it's a very big commitment and a lot of school, like 8 years of school and residency and all that. And because I still want to continue chess for like probably the rest of my life, so I don't know how that would fit in. So I was hoping to go to look into a career path where it would be more flexible, because it's not the easiest lifestyle for being like going to surgery or anything.
Yeah, that's true. Takes pretty long time, and for a doctor, I mean, that's especially for this time when the COVID-19 comes out, and then people can realize that doctor is really a high risk career, and you cannot do maybe somehow like for like you can do remote, but most of the time you have to face-to-face with the patients. And you also needed to even think about the patient's emotions issue. You also needed to consider your own emotions issue. Yeah, I was still like pretty, I mean, when at this time after this event, the COVID-19 kids still decided to be as a doctor, I would like to say that's very, I mean, that's good and brave and yeah, pretty sure be well appreciated.
Yeah. So I have a few questions in the chat. Which school has a chess club? Well, I would say probably most schools have a chess club, but there are certain schools that recruit chess players, and then that's different because you can get like a full scholarship and full ride basically, which is nice. I applied to 2 of those schools as safety schools, and so they're not like very like high ranked schools, but it's nice because you can get like a full scholarship for those. What do I think about online versus over the board? So I think I prefer playing chess over the board because I think online you don't get the same effect of I just don't think I think as efficiently when I'm playing online because it's very easy to get distracted. And over the board, you're just more focused, and you can also see like your opponent's emotions. But like for classes, I don't think it matters as much for classes because I used to when I had coaches, all of my lessons were online, like through Skype. So because like a lot of times your coach is living across the country or something. And do I think my chess achievement? Yeah, because I made my college application. I put chess in a lot of parts of my college application. So my essay, my Common App essay was about chess. One of my Harvard supplemental essays was also about chess. So like I think for college applications, they've started to become less and less about just statistics and grades, and they're more about extracurricular and activities now, because I mean, once you get to a certain level in like your grades or stats, like it doesn't really matter anymore. Like, because everyone's gonna have so many people are gonna have the same same application. So it's really the activities that make you stand out. who study openings more than things in chess. You personally study endgames. What chess themes? Oh, okay, that's a good question. So especially for people starting out, I don't think openings are important to study at all. But that's also because I never studied openings until really late. But endgames are good to study because you learn a lot about chess, just like fundamental ideas. But yeah, okay, I think the most important thing I said before was just tactics and puzzles, because you just like, I think there's a quote like 99% of chess is like tactics or something like that, because it's just, you have to build like your pattern recognizing scheme. And so yeah, I think that's the main thing to focus on, because especially since like between like the difference from like, I don't know, like 1500 to like 2000, a lot of it is just blunders. Like the more it's just, when you improve, it's just basically getting rid of like the reducing the probability of blundering when you're from like that kind of level. So like in the beginning when you start out, that's really important. And do I feel like playing chess has helped? Yes. So I think I'm really good at handling like high pressure situations and stressful situations because of chess, and also handling setbacks, because like when I was like, I started facing like a lot of high pressure situations through tournaments when I was like 10, 11, and 12, like just like must win situations, these kind of things. So after a while you get used to them, and it's like, because it's like the make it or break it kind of moment, but then you realize that, oh, it's just a game. But you and then you can start applying that to other like important things, like I don't know, big tests or other situations you have a lot of pressure, and handling setbacks. So I know a lot of people who get like really affected by like a loss or like making a mistake, but I think if you play chess more, you realize that it's bound to happen. Like you can't play perfect. You can be the best player in the world and you still can't play perfect. And it just helps you, like if you get a bad grade on the test or something doesn't go your way in like life, like that definitely helps when you just realize that on like the grand scheme of things, it's not that important, and how to like recover from a loss and just keep playing the next game like it's yeah, and being motivated to do well.
So if no one else has any more questions about chess specifically for Jennifer, I guess we could conclude the chess section of this interview and move on to questions about high school. So if you're an elementary student, elementary school student, and you don't really need to worry about high school yet. So if you want to leave, you could. Just a reminder, please join the Discord server for the youth group if you have not yet. So I guess we could move on to the high school section of the interview now. So the first question being, since you have to travel all the time to compete, how did you manage catching up on schoolwork?
Yeah, that was probably the hardest thing with chess in school. So I always talk to my teachers in advance, like a few weeks in advance, and see what I can do, like see what I can do beforehand. So it got a lot better because like a few years ago, we didn't have like Google Classroom or anything. So that was really hard to like track down teachers and then get worksheets ahead of time. But then after like Google Classroom started being big and then it was started being used in all my classes, I could do a lot online. And it's just really important communicating with your teacher and also getting your teachers to know you. So like all of my teachers knew like how much time I spent like all my chess things and all that, so they like understand. And yeah, and also it's really important to manage your time. So after like I would go back and forth with this, but like after my big tournaments where I missed a lot of school, I realized like I couldn't spend as much time on chess after that. So I would spend like maybe like the next month or so just mostly focusing on schools, making up all my tests, all of those things that I missed, and then getting back into chess after that.
Okay, the next question is, what were some hardships or challenges you faced in school and how did you overcome them?
I would say my junior year, I completely underestimated how many hard classes that I chose. Like I think I got an all AP workload, I think. Yeah, and then it was almost impossible. Like I was spending so much time every day just doing homework, and I remember because in the beginning of the year I just didn't sleep, and then it was really, and then I had like a big tournament that was like 2 weeks, and then after that I had to make up all that, so it was kind of awful. But I think I realized that you have to realize that you can't get the best grade in every class. Like you have to like do the best you can, but like for example, like sometimes you see a class and you're like, okay, so I can do this much amount of work and get an A, but if I want to get like an even better grade, like an A plus, of course this is dependent on class, then I have to put in like, I don't know, like 5 extra hours a week, and then you have to, and then for that one class, and you just have to start balancing it out, like over in the grand scheme of things, like with GPA and all that, it doesn't matter if I get an A plus in this class or an A, like, but it's like it matters how much time I spend on it. So it's just kind of like that, balancing it out, and then realize that, oh, I don't have to do the best in every single class. Like as long as I maintain good grades, and that's okay. Because yeah, I guess, I mean, it's not like the answer like you always have to get good grades. And like because I got good grades throughout high school. Like I graduated top of my class, but yeah, I realized that I didn't have to always get the best grade in every or on every single test. Like if I'm going to spend this much time to do a retake, is it worth it? Like it's kind of like doing that, those kind of just balancing things out.
So are there any experiences or events that make your journey in high school different from the typical high school student?
Yeah, I would say for sure that my tournaments, because the big tournaments that I talk about are 2 weeks, and missing just like a few days in high school is difficult, but 2 weeks is just like it hurts. So and I also, so like my junior year I was talking about, I had a 2-week tournament right off the bat in like October, and I had another 2-week tournament in April. So that entire year it was just me trying to struggling with school and balancing it with chess. But for some reason I did okay with both of them. I don't know how, but I didn't really sleep that year either. So yeah, I guess I would say that, just figuring out how to balance things.
So if you were to go back to high school again and had to start over from the freshman year, how would you have changed everything?
So I kind of mentioned this earlier, but like about taking just like the workload, knowing the workload that you can handle, and like how you should balance your grades and things. So I made a big mistake when I went in my junior year, because I took all the hard classes I could possibly take, and that was not good. Because I could have made it a little bit easier on myself. I just took slightly easier classes. Like for example, I took AP US History, which isn't the most hard class, but at my school it was a lot of homework. It was probably like at least like 2 hours of homework a day just for that one class. And then so what I should have done is I should have taken another class that was you basically get the same amount of credit as that, but it just wasn't as much work. So it's really important to talk to other people to know that to hear about like class and know how much work that one class is, and then maybe just giving yourself a little bit of room to breathe and have more time to spend on other things other than school, because it's really easy to get caught up with just taking all the hard classes I can take, and then making my transcript all pretty. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much, because like I was saying, like colleges, I think that they're starting to make their not that they're starting, I think it's been obvious in the last few years that a lot of their their application reviews are starting to head more towards like extracurricular activities instead of like statistics on your grades.
So are there any life lessons you learned through the experience of high school?
Well, like big life lessons. Well, I don't know. Like I would say like it's like people are always like, oh, high school ends faster than you realize, and like you leave high school a different person as you go in. But it's really true. Like just you learn a lot about, I don't know how exactly the answer is because it's like very cliche kind of things, but yeah, I think it's important not to get too caught up with just getting good grades and just like only study throughout high school, because I think it's very important to develop as a person and learn through like that.
So that concludes our section about high school life. So now we will be moving on to the college application process. So the first question is, which schools did you apply to and which ones accepted you?
So I applied to Harvard Early Action, which is, so for Harvard and a lot of the top schools, they have restricted early action, which means you can only apply to that one private school early. So because of that, I applied to Harvard and I applied to UVA, which is my state school, because it's public, and I applied to 2 chess schools that I had full scholarship to, just for like a safety school. And then after I got, so you hear about early action results in like mid-December. So after I got accepted to Harvard, I didn't continue applying to normal because I knew I was going to go to Harvard. So I didn't want to apply to like for regular decisions. So I only applied to those schools and I got into all of them.
Okay. Why did you choose to go to Harvard?
So that was actually a really big thing that I wasn't sure on, because I couldn't figure out what school I wanted to apply to early because I could only choose one of them. And the reason I chose Harvard was just because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do as like a career path for sure. Because like I was saying, I was planning to be a doctor, but then I started to like change my mind. And then because of that, I wanted to choose a school where I had a lot of flexibility in choosing my major, and also where it was just like a good institution in general. So like if I wanted to switch majors or something, like most like it wasn't like too focused on STEM or just liberal arts. It was something where I could choose something that where it would have a good reputation in anyways.
So how did you feel like your application stood out?
Yeah, so like my unique thing is chess. So most of my application was chess. So yeah, so like people are always like when you want to make your application, you do want to just like, oh wait, let me get my thoughts. So it's mostly the essays, because I think the essays are really, really important because you can only see so much through like putting your activities down. Like I didn't know this before applying, but for example, in your Common App, they give you room for 10 activities, and for each of the activities, you only have 150 characters to describe each of them. So 150 characters, that's less than like a sentence. So that's not something I realized before applying. And also the way that the format is, it's geared towards like long-term activities. Like it's better to put down like a few long-term activities and put down like a lot of stuff that you just do for like, I don't know, like half a year or a month, just because of the way that you want to fill it out. So like for that, I put down chess and some of the other extracurriculars I did like a couple honor societies, clubs in high school. And but I think so for my essays I really pushed chess, and showed how chess made me grow as a person, because I didn't want to just put down like, oh, I accomplished this and this, because I don't think it shows that much. But I think it really shows if you can show how you grew your character through something and then put down your accomplishments in that.
Okay. So are there any recommendations you have for choosing colleges?
If you know what you want to major in or what you're interested in, then it's I think it's a lot easier because then you can just look at like top colleges or whatever school that you're in that's good in that major. Also, like, because I know a lot of people have preferences, like they're like, oh, I want to go to school in the city, or I want to go to school. Like I didn't have any of those, or I want to go to big school, small school. So all of those things are things you can figure out. Also going on campus, which I didn't do any of these because I just didn't really have a opinion on that. Also, like price is a big thing, like tuition, because tuition is really expensive. Like I think a lot of state schools are actually really good. Like for me, for a while I was considering UVA because it's a really good school, and also it's so much cheaper because it's in state. Like so that's why one of the reasons. So yeah, like I think it's really important to balance all these factors and then end up choosing. But I think in a lot, like you really realize what school you want to go to after you get your decisions back, because like you can like because I think like it's better to just apply to a bunch and then figure out like after you get in, because it's I know a lot of people who are really set on, oh, I want to go to this school, I want to get to this school, but it just the college like accepting process is kind of random. Like sometimes it's really hard to say, like, why did someone get into this school and not get into this school? Like there are people I know who got into Harvard and didn't get into Cornell or things like that. It's just really hard to tell. So it's so yeah, I think for choosing colleges, it's best after the decision comes out.
So when did you start working on your college application, and would you have started earlier or later based on how things went?
I started my application really late. I think I started it in maybe end of September or October, early October, which was really late because I think the deadline was for early action was like November some. Was it October, November, maybe November 1st or something. It was, so I only like give myself like a month, which is really late. But so I would have started mine earlier, but I just didn't know where I wanted to apply to. So I didn't want to, so I just couldn't figure it out. But I think like for some things like the Common App, the essays, you know what the prompts are. I mean, at least some of the prompts are the same every single year. So you can already start figuring out what you want to write for that in the summer before your senior year. Like, cause like, and also they're very vague prompts. So you can really write anything you want about it. Like, I think one of the prompts is just tell us something you want us to know or something like that. So you can literally write anything you want for that. And then, so I would have started my Common App application a lot earlier. Like for like school specific essays, I think you don't need to start that as early. Maybe once you know where you want to apply early, you could start working on that. But Common App definitely started in the summer.
So that concludes our interview for today. So if anyone wants to ask any questions, feel free to ask.
Besides like chess, did you have any like subject you were interested in school?
Activity?
Or like subject, math, science, English, history, things like that.
I didn't do so like for like math, I always did really good in math. Like it was probably my top subject. But so I did math honor society like as like an extracurricular activity, but it wasn't something like I didn't do like math competitions or any of that kind of stuff. Just because also like time would have never worked out, but I did do like honor societies and things like that. So honor societies is just like tutoring.
mean, like, what subjects are you interested in?
Am I interested in? Well,
Not
I
referring
was.
to extracurriculars, just regular subjects.
Yeah, I really like psych, and because I really like the living biology, because that's what I was interested in doing as a career, but I'm not so sure anymore. But yeah, that's what I was interested in.
Thanks.
Hi, Jennifer. I was also very touched by your comment that high school is also a period for personal development to find yourself. So it's very wise, and thank you for your interview today with us.
Yep, my pleasure.
There's another question in chat. Chess is very time consuming. Being a doctor is very challenging. Do you have any vision that you'll continue chess in college?
Yeah, I'm definitely continuing chess throughout college. I don't know how much, but like there are some tournaments I would want to play every year, like the U.S. Championships. That's something I want to do every single year. That's why. So I'm not sure to what degree I can do it, which is why I'm considering a gap year, just so I can get try to really improve in this year if I do choose the gap. So yeah, but it's something I want to continue probably for the rest of my life.
So if no one else has any more questions, I would conclude this interview, and we would like to all thank Jennifer for giving us this special opportunity to share her personal experiences. So thank you, Jennifer.
There will also be a meeting notes and summary that I will release on Discord after this interview concludes.
And a couple of future events held by the SFVCCA youth group would be next Saturday at 2 p.m. There would be a Rubik's Cube lecture, which I would hold. And then the following Sunday, I believe, August 1st at 7:30 p.m., Richard Drew and a few other people would share their extracurriculars, clubs, and programs at their high school. So that would be the future events. So thank you for everyone for coming, and also thank you again, Jennifer, for all giving us this special opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.